Greetings fellow retro gamers and welcome to another episode of 81632-bit presents Battle of the Bits. Today we're looking at Sega's legendary arcade machine Golden Axe and the versions that were produced by Sega themselves for the Mega Drive and the Master System. Now, Golden Axe was an incredibly popular scrolling beat-em-up in the arcades released in 1989. It was released also in 1989 for the then new Sega Mega Drive and Genesis system, and then shortly afterwards in early 1990 for the Sega Master System. Now, obviously these were arcade to home ports, so there are going to be some concessions made, but today we're going to have a look and see which of the two versions is indeed the better one. So, without further ado, let's get started with Golden Axe for the Mega Drive and Genesis. So, here we are with the version for Sega's 16-bit console, the Sega Mega Drive or Genesis for our American cousins. As you can see, you get a nice little intro screen there. It looks very arcade-like, not quite the same as the arcade, but darn close when you look at it. And it sounds pretty good too. Now, tracked mode there, didn't want that again, so we're just going straight into the arcade mode here. Obviously you have a choice of 3 characters. For the sake of simplicity we're just sticking with the legendary Axe Battler, and as you can see this is a pretty good looking early period Mega Drive game. You know, it looks like a damn close facsimile of the game Golden Axe in the arcade. Now, I'm going to be completely honest here, I'm not the world's biggest fan of Golden Axe. I have real issues with some of the little gameplay quirks it uses, especially in the home ports. I mean, one thing you'll notice, you always seem to get attacked by bad guys in pairs and they will always try and bracket you, so there is one either side of you. Obviously in an arcade this is a really cheap and easy ploy to just get you to keep putting more money in by taking lives off you quickly and cheaply. I don't think it was needed for the home ports. I think they could have tweaked that. And you've just seen one of the little goblin gnomes there who give you power-ups to your magic, which we'll see shortly, because yes, I'm sick of it. As you can see, Axe uses fire magic. There's different levels to the magic that you can access depending on how many bottles you have collected. It has slightly different effects each time you upgrade the level. Now, this is another thing Golden Axe was saying, so it's ride on creatures. They do add an element of fun to the gameplay, which does take it a little bit out of the standard beat 'em up frame that was already becoming pretty much the norm at this point, even though we weren't that far removed from what you would call was the first modern scrolling beat 'em up in terms of gameplay, which was of course Double Dragon. Now, I have to say, despite the fact that I don't like Golden Axe, I find this Mega Drive version to play really well. It's a very, very good facsimile of the arcade machine. Obviously it's not perfect, the animation's a little jerkier, it's not quite as smooth and fast, but it plays a decent game of Golden Axe. So, in a second, we'll get to the Master System version and see just how well or not that version of the game does. So, here we are on Sega's 8-bit machine, and you can see straight away cutbacks have been made. First off, we don't get the little arcade track sequence. You don't even get to choose characters, all you have is Axe. But, as you can see, it's still recognisably Golden Axe, right down to the bad guys bracketing you. And yeah, it looks pretty good, to be fair. You know, the sprites are recognisable. As you can see, the magic does cause all the backdrops to disappear because of the limitations of the system, but this is very definitely and very obviously Golden Axe. As I said, it looks pretty good. By 1990, coders had pretty well got the hang of the Master System at this point and were producing games which were a significant step up from the earlier titles on the system. This is a prime example of that. A quite substantial arcade machine squeezed down into Sega's little 8-bit wonder. Now obviously it doesn't quite sound as good. That's the problem with just using the built-in sound chip on the Master System and not the FM add-on, which was never available outside Japan anyway. And it's fair to say that there are other cutbacks that have been made. You noticed that we didn't have the little section level there with the little gnome. Instead we go straight to fighting these two bad guys. Well, cutbacks have to be made. It's a weaker system, it has less memory available, the cartridges are smaller. You do get this second bit with the little gnome things, which is actually far easier to get the bottles from them on because they stick to one plane of movement each rather than running up and down and jumping all around. You still have the different levels to the magic like in the arcade and Mega Drive versions. And to be fair, yeah, as I said, this is a damn good conversion, especially given the limitations of the machine. I enjoy it. To me, it actually feels a touch more difficult than the Mega Drive version. That may be due to the fact that obviously it's a slightly slower pace again. The animation isn't as smooth, and it does feel like there's a little bit of a delay between your action and the response on screen. But overall, it's not a bad conversion. So yeah, Golden Axe for the Master System. It's a good little version for a good little machine. So, which version's going to win this battle of the bits? Well, to be completely honest, I have to give it to the Mega Drive version. It's just closer to the arcade original, but it's a near-run thing. The Master System version really does put up a great fight and shows just what could be done on the system with skilled coders. Anyway, that's it for me from today. So if you've enjoyed this video, you know the usual stuff. Hit the like button, hit subscribe, leave a comment down below, ring the bell, all of that stuff, and I will see you on the next video. So long.